Hurry up!
Hi, I'm Jomo,
And I'm Kyle,
and you're watching Time Attack.
the only video game show on the internet.
And today we'll be discussing Mirror's Edge.
For those of you just tuning in for the first time, the gimmick of the show is that we set a timer for 15 minutes to talk about the game. Not a second more, not a second less. So, start the clock.
We've started.
Whoa. So, why don't you explain, Jomo, what Mirror's Edge is all about?
Well, Mirror's Edge is... Oh, boy. Yeah. Mirror's Edge is a action platforming game that takes place in a futuristic world. And
You could call it a dystopia.
Oh, yes, of course. But it's a quite nice-looking dystopia. It's quite blank and white-looking. And
Minimalist.
Yeah, minimalist
Yeah.
society. And you play as Faith, a character who's sort of this parkour transporting rebel
They're called
terrorist group of some
runners.
kind. Or runners, yeah,
Yeah,
they run.
because they run.
Yeah, and they do a lot of that.
And
during the
there's a story about a Faith's sister who works for the, oppressive police force in this dystopian society is framed for the murder of, I forget somebody.
Yep.
And she has to clear her sister's name by going on a bunch of missions through the city.
Yes.
Running along rooftops, avoiding the police,
Yeah.
and crawling through far too many vents.
Yeah. Well, too many.
I would argue. So I like the idea behind the game. I like that it's a first-person platformer. There's minimal fighting and shooting. It's mostly about evasion and mastering movement. The whole idea of a first-person shooter that focuses on movement immediately makes me think of Titanfall.
Oh, sure.
Which is the perfect execution of this concept of the wall running feels fluid. You can do it on every wall. You can do whatever you want. The environments are open. They're like giant playgrounds. This game, it felt far more limiting. It felt like I was supposed to do it a certain way. Almost like a Sonic game, honestly.
Okay. Well, yeah, I thought of you immediately while playing it because, this looks like the archetype of parkouring, jumping on stuff in certain first-person shooter games. And it felt like a indie game before indie games.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's experimental. It's bold to make this AAA budget first-person game and have it so you pick up maybe 5 or 6 guns through the whole game. You barely need to shoot.
Yeah, it's very much about the experience, and I think it was just a very unique experience. It came out in 2008, and female protagonist. It was very different. It had a very distinct style. The story didn't really capture me. I didn't really resonate with it, but I got what I was trying to do. But I love the music. I love the atmosphere. And I could really see it being if it's not already ported in VR, this is VR. When you play this in VR, this is...
Yeah. And I know what you mean about the look of it too. It's a neat look, and I like that the world building is just window dressing. You don't need to really fully understand society. It does seem like it's a 1984 Brave New World almost, where everything looks nice and it's great as long as you're following the rules. 1984 is actually kind of crummy looking, but regardless, it's it has the sheen of a utopia, but beneath there's shady shit going on, right?
Oh man, I didn't even get that far. Even analyzing it because
it's not in the game. It's not really part of the story beyond the broad strokes. But when you're in the elevator and there's this text scrolling on a display, and you kind of read what's happening and how they're looking for the runners and it's all kind of implied, but not, as far as I know, not explicitly explained for the most part. It's more just based on the way the characters interact with each other and the way they speak to each other, you kind of understand the world a bit. So I like that aspect of it a lot.
Now, how far did you get? Did you beat it?
Oh,
no.
Yeah, it's an easy... I started up mission 1. I'm I'll just keep going. And I beat the whole game in one day.
Yeah.
On normal. I didn't play the hard difficulty because I didn't like it enough.
I played it on normal and I did not finish it. I think there was a point where you fight the big man. who bursts through the wooden wall.
A rope burn or something.
Yeah,
like
whatever.
Yeah,
and
wrestler guy.
Yeah, it's just
Did he throw you off the building a bunch of times?
Oh yeah, he wasted me. He wasted me. Like, like 5 times. Yeah, it's like that's the boss.
I think he threw me off the building close to 30 times before I finally got the timing right on the stupid quick time event.
Oh man, it's just he's got a big wooden stick or something he comes at with. He bursts through. It's ridiculous. But I think after some levels afterwards, that I just lost interest. It's like I don't really care what happens. Like,
well, I found it was I kind of alluded to earlier. It's very when you're out in the open on the rooftops, it's fun and it's open. But it is a little repetitive, so they mix it up. Sometimes you go in buildings. There's a shopping mall. There's a harbor. There's different levels. But it still feels like every mission's kind of the same thing.
Yes.
And then far too often, it's instead of running along big open spaces, it's okay, crawl through these vents and go up here and you're just sneaking around. It's one of those games where you have to get somewhere, but everything that could possibly go wrong to get in your way is getting in your way. It's the elevator's jammed. You're going to have to climb up this maintenance hatch. Oh, but it's blocked, so you have to go around through this vent.
It's scripted. It's supposed to feel exciting, like you're just narrowly escaping. I think really the game is trying to get you to feel like some of the best moments in that game for me is when the cops show up and you're in a building and you got to get out. I know certain cops come at certain times, but it feels exciting. It simulates this kind of excitement. Even though it's not it's like it happened you're playing Breath of the Wild or Grand Theft Auto or something and just things happen and it might not happen again, but it's just scripted.
Well, it does feel like there's a timer, though. Certain situations, some are scripted,
yes.
But other times, if you take too long, they come in.
Yeah. If you did not get that jump after the 3rd time, it's no, you're dead. They're just going to kill you because they come out just at this time and
But at
punish
least
you.
On normal, they have Star Wars Stormtrooper aim, so they really can't hurt you for the most part. You have to be really lingering to get killed by them.
Yeah. What do you think of the combat?
Anytime I could avoid it, I did. It was bad.
That's not. I think they purposely made it sort of stiff so that it wasn't you're wasting everybody. Which you can still. You just gotta take your time a little bit.
I think if someone's really into this game, they can master that combat. I think it's there's a learning curve to it, and you never, at least on normal, you never need to learn it.
There's one mission. I think you come out of a big giant, not well, but it's this huge opening with
construction site.
Yeah, and then there is a part where you have to kill the cops. Or whatever they are.
I think I tried to run away at first because I'm there's no way I have to kill all these guys. And
then you do, yeah.
Once you get one guy though, and he gets his gun, it's pretty easy.
But then you run out of bullets or something, and you gotta get the guy coming around the corner.
Controlled bursts, man. You don't run out of bullets. Well, you kill that guy, take his.
Well, yeah,
gun.
you do. Yeah, but yeah, I find I had to at least have 2 guns to take them all down. But it was for what it was. It was cool, but I really couldn't recommend this game. If you like history and want to see the development of games over time, I'm sure it has its place, but it's just not enough to really say, you got to play it.
It's I know it's kind of a cult game, cult hit, and that's kind of the kind of game it is where it's if you're interested in it, it's worth playing. You'll probably enjoy it. It's good enough.
Oh, it's fun.
It's better in concept than execution, I think. And then I don't know. I know there's a sequel. We haven't played that, obviously.
No.
I don't think you're going to from the sound of it, but I might try just to see, if they evolve the concept or if they go backwards on it.
Well, they do go backwards in story. Yeah.
They do that?
It's a prequel.
Oh, okay. Well,
I know.
Not that anyone was too invested. Neither of us seemed that invested in that. Like I said, I like the world building, but the actual story, I don't even remember. I remember one thing. Spoiler alert. There's 3 or 4 characters in the whole game.
Yeah.
So it's when you see a mysterious masked assassin, it's that's her friend.
Is it the blonde chick?
It's the blonde chick.
I thought she was, but then at some point they have some chat on a roof or whatever, and they're
But that's the red herring kind of where it's look, they're friends and they care about each other.
Because at the beginning I'm oh yeah, this person's gonna betray you, and then during the training area, and then afterwards I'm okay, I guess not. And it's oh, okay, I guess so.
It's I didn't really think about that at first. I'm oh, yeah, that's your, she teaches you. She's your teacher, I guess, I don't know, whatever, right? But at some point, I don't. You guess you didn't beat Rope Burn, but what happens after you beat this guy is he gets shot by
I beat
an
him.
assassin.
You
did beat him. Okay.
Yeah. He's hanging off the edge of the building. And
yeah. So the minute they show that masked character, you say, "Wait, who could it be? Because it's got to be somebody.
Yeah.
Can't just be a random grunt."
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. Well, who else could it be?
You know, what I felt real lame was those scenes where you're talking with the detective.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Just like, I'm gonna shoot you. Oh, if you weren't your sister's sister, I would have. It's just like, it's just.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I just wasn't buying the story. It just wasn't for me.
he hero turns again at the end. Like, there's a part where you, like, enter a room in, like, the final level, and, like, there's all these goons.
Yeah.
And then he shoots his own guys, basically. So you can go. Because he's like, I'll slow him down as much as I can.
And now he's virtuous and taking the side of...
If you were more invested, it might give you a little bit of like a thrill moment.
I think it's you got to resonate with the story. You got to resonate with this game and the character. And you do, then you probably really like it.
Yeah. But
it's certainly not... I think it's not broad enough in scope and execution that it's going to be touching that many people where they're like, oh yeah, I gotta know what happens to Faith next. What happened? Where is she? What's she doing? It's
and that's the thing is like, because it's so much about like this one mystery, there's not enough character for me to be like, oh, what's the next adventure for Faith? I don't really care. Like, she works well enough for the story.
Yeah.
And this world is detailed enough for this story, but they really need to expand a lot of it if they're gonna continue it, right?
One kind of cool thing about this is that there's probably some female gamers who might really resonate this because it's a female character and it's not one that's sort of the princess or just a sex symbol.
Yeah, she takes care of herself. She's never sexualized in any explicit way that I know of.
So maybe like there's a little bit of that.
Kind of dull. That's all.
Yeah, at least from what we saw, maybe she fleshes out in the prequel.
Maybe, and there's room for it. It's just like right now, it's like we know she followed this life of rebellion, like her parents who had been killed during a rebellion, and then her sister went the opposite way and joined the police, which is, I guess they could have chewed into that more than they did. But maybe no one would care. Maybe they realized it's a good like window dressing plot. Like this gets things in motion.
What did you think of the cutscenes?
Oh, the weird animation. Yeah. I kind of thought it looked worse than the game. Like I like the style, but the shading, and I'm no art guy, so I don't, maybe it's technically correct, but there's like no shading here. So everyone's like face just blend into their necks, it looked like in a lot of shots.
Sure.
Other shots did look good depending on lighting.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting because I haven't seen something like that in a long time or ever.
It's almost like a Samurai Jack style or something.
Sure.
Like what was that Cartoon Network show, right? It's like, yeah, it's cool. I like the idea of it. I'm just not 100% on board with all the style.
Again, it's like I appreciate the game. I can see why people like it. It's just not for me. I'm not passionate about it.
Yeah.
But definitely fun to experience and see what it was like. And
it's dirt cheap now. You can get it anywhere, or just on sale on the Xbox. And like I said, it's a quick game. I don't think if you like it, there's more to do. There is a hard mode you unlock.
Yeah.
But it's like,
you just get shot once and you're dead, kind of thing.
Probably. I feel like I probably should have tried it so I could be fair about it, but it does seem like it'd be one of those frustrating, like any kind of leeway you would get normally is just
taken
eliminated.
Away. Yeah, you gotta basically perfect run it.
And that's why I said it kind of felt like Sonic to me, where like a Sonic adventure game. Like if you're landing all the jumps and doing the cool tricks, it feels cool. You feel like Sonic.
Yeah.
But it's very specific on how you have to do these things. If you're off by a little bit, he just like kind of awkwardly hits off a wall, or it doesn't feel good. And this game has that issue where like I knew how to wall run by the end of it for sure, but I would still mess up a wall.
You gotta jump at the right point of the wall, at the right length of the wall to make you gotta.
Well, and I think they knew too, because there's an option. I think hard mode disables the runner vision, which highlights everything in red.
Oh.
So that's how you kind of know how to get through the game, right?
Oh, that's one thing I really wanted to point out, was I liked how there was no information on the HUD.
Yes.
It looks, and it makes it even more immersive. That's why I thought, oh man, this is VR material for certain. Like, and you don't get, there's not tons of games that do that. So I kind of like how you do feel like, it's very first person. There's nothing distracting you from running and diving, and it feels good.
You are Faith.
Yeah, it made it really good for the trailers. Like, am I watching gameplay or is this just a trailer? It's like, no, that's gameplay. Wow.
And it works nice with the
how are you doing all that?
The minimalistic, like, look of the world. It's almost like if Apple iPhone designers like just
Made
took
a
over
game.
all architecture in the city, right? And it's a cool, sleek look. So it's aged very well. Like I think the graphics in gameplay look great still for how old it is.
Oh, this could be easily ported.
Yeah,
and put on like the eShop or the PlayStation Store.
Well, I guess
is it
could
the
be on
eShop
Switch.
still?
On
the Switch, it's called the eShop, or is it?
No, it is called the eShop, I think, but Nintendo Store, I think. Either way, that's sidetracked. But I at first I was like, well, it can't be on Nintendo, but you're right. This could probably run on the Switch.
I think, hopefully.
Hopefully. But yeah, like
maybe working on the cloud.
I think, and back to my other point though, just like how it's like, you have to do it just right, and I think if you liked the game enough to master it. There's more to get from it.
Oh, wow.
That's the
15
time.
minutes.
So thanks for watching.
Yes, and please tune in for the next episode of Time Attack.
Time over!